First question was, tell us about your background. I originally grew up in New York, and then my parents moved us to Los Angeles. There was not a lot of cooking or baking in our house, but I always loved to bake as a kid. I was surrounded by entrepreneurialism, though. My dad was an entrepreneur, founder of his company, my grandparents as well. And so I was inspired by that as a kid and was interested in innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship from a young age.
I have a pretty similar life story, actually. I grew up in Seattle until the 5th grade, and then we moved to Los Angeles. And I actually go to the same high school as my dad. And I also grew up surrounded by entrepreneurialism. My dad obviously starting companies, always super interested in that. When we were little, we used to do like tech news where he'd tell us all the cool stuff going on in the world of business. So it's something I've been hearing about forever. And now I'm super excited to be getting involved with it, both in Recon Food and also with my school, and really any way I can.
We launched Recon Food because we wanted to create a social media platform where people could reconnect with friends and family over a shared love of food. Food is this thing that everybody loves, whether you're a serious chef or just, an amateur in the kitchen or you don't cook at all. And we thought that it was something that people would want to share with friends and family. And the key hook of Recon Food is it connects to your camera roll and it pulls out photos that you've already taken of food. It places them on a map, and it lets you relive those food memories. It also lets you post new photos that you've taken of food and discover friends, restaurants, and other dishes that you want to cook. So it's social media for food.
So Recon Food was created during the pandemic, and it was this really interesting time for food. In our family, we were cooking multiple times a week, trying new recipes all together, baking almost every night at one point. And now as we come out of the pandemic, we're in this new stage for food where you're connecting with friends over meals, supporting local businesses. It's just this really interesting time. And at the same time, during the pandemic, social media got really stressful, really toxic. And that's something we're discovering again now with all the new studies coming out. So social media has just been this really toxic, stressful thing, either the toxicity of seeing other people living perfect lives and the jealousy, or just the news and all the day-to-day problems in our world that are coming out on social media. So we wanted to create a space that's less toxic and more fun. So Recon Food was designed to be a less toxic social media. We have no like counts on posts, so you can see who liked your post, but not how many people liked your post. It's all about food all the time, so none of the other toxicity, none of the other stress. And it's designed to be this really positive and uplifting environment. It's been so amazing seeing the community connect and build each other up and support each other by commenting on their posts, instead of just this stress of other people are having perfect meals. Nothing looks perfect with food. We know that it's what it tastes like and not what it looks like that matters, obviously. I mean, I cook all the time, and I can tell you it almost never looks as good as it tastes. So food is just this thing where it's inherently doesn't taste how it looks, and so you can't judge it by how it looks. So it's created this really nice community where instead of looking at a picture and judging, you're just supporting everyone around you.
My favorite thing to bake is chocolate chip cookies, and I post a lot of chocolate chip cookies on Recon Food. It's been fun to see other people posting cookie recipes and trying some of them, and just whether I burn them or I make them perfect, it's fun to reconnect with friends and family over a shared love of cookies.
One of my favorite things to make are Colombian buñuelos. They're basically a cheese fritter, like a fried dough with cheese sort of thing. It's a Colombian snack that we make every year around Christmas, and they're super fun. It's a pretty long process to make them, but I've loved learning the recipe and sort of getting better at it every year.
We have lots of favorite local restaurants. We live in Los Angeles. So many great restaurants near us, whether we eat at them or we do delivery. Some of my favorites are Katsuya and Sugarfish. Those are both Asian restaurants, which is one of my favorite types of cuisine.
I'd add John and Vinny's, which is a great Italian place in Los Angeles. Also Sortino, which is a smaller Italian restaurant, but they have really good pizza and great pasta as well.
So many local restaurants had a hard time during COVID, and many of them are still struggling to recover. So it's been very gratifying to see Recon Food help them rebuild their businesses, whether it's them promoting their company, their dishes, their chef's expertise, or their great service to the Recon Food community, or seeing diners or people that have delivery from those restaurants share their great experiences from those restaurants on Recon Food. We think that our social media platform, Just for Food, can help these restaurants as they recover post-COVID. Well, working together as a father-daughter team has its pros and cons. I'd say in a lot of ways, it's fantastic. It's great that we can learn from each other. Sophia has taught me so much about social media, about how people that use these other horizontal social media apps, how they behave, how it makes them feel. These are things that are harder for me in my mid 40s to relate to. So it's been great having some diversity on the leadership team. Some of the challenges of working together, it's hard to know when to stop working because we live under the same roof. So at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., if I want to talk about Recon Food, I might just walk into her room and start talking about it. And it might be time to maybe be doing something else. So it's a little bit hard to always live with your coworker.
I think the hardest part for me hasn't even been working in the team. It's just been balancing everything. Obviously, I'm in school also. And so I'm essentially working on my second job part-time when it's a full-time job. And it's super exciting for me to get to work on it. But just balancing that, and like you said, with the late nights working on it, that's when I can work on it, obviously. But it's not always the most fun time to brainstorm when I'm also working on other stuff at the same time. So when you download the app, you automatically follow @Spencer and @Sophia. And we did this to really set the tone for the app. You can see everything that we post. And so you know that your posts don't have to be the most perfect looking, amazing Top Chef meal that you cooked yourself or a super cool Instagram worthy restaurant that you went out to. It can be something simple. We post all the time, like a peach that we got from the grocery store that was really good, or you started a trend, I guess, the other day, which was posting your favorite candy. So it was like orange Starburst and orange Lifesavers. So we like to set the bar pretty low, honestly. It doesn't have to be the perfect meals. It's about sharing all your food and whatever you want to share with your friends.
And we look forward to you following our food adventures on Recon Food and us following yours.